LOL, it's Dinosa, and I was asked to do this review about this damn movie called The Human Centipede. This piece of garbage they made out for people to watch in horror movies. And personally, what's sick? Either the man is sadistic, whoever came up with this is just sadistic beyond belief, he's got just messed up thoughts, or he was so high on something that I want some. It's, wow, it's disgusting, but it's funny at the same time, but it's not. And the movie, The Human Centipede, Phase 1, supposedly there's going to be other phases. Why, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the movie Splice has more interest in this, and that even wasn't that great either. But anyway, I was asked to do this just to kind of give my bits because of Jersey Shore, and it'd be a harder subject to tackle, but here it is. Basically, this movie is the most disgusting, most pointless movie I have ever seen in my entire life. And I've gone through the horror slasher flicks and everything, and there in these horror slasher flicks there was a point, there was good versus evil. This is just, it's like almost watching a video. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, maybe watching a video of Nazi torture videos or something. I mean, it's that bad. There's no point in this. There's no redeeming value in it at all on that. And I mean, it's interesting to me because a long time ago my father told me about the movie Seven, and he said the movie Seven had no redeeming value. And at first I didn't see Seven, so I couldn't really comment on it. I said, oh, whatever, you know, old man, whatever. And then I saw it, and actually the movie Seven, that's with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, actually had a point behind it. That the bottom line point is life was worth fighting for. But it was to teach people to be aware of evil in our lives. It's just minor stuff that could just do you in because of overindulgence or vengeance or not thinking. And Morgan Freeman at the end of the movie tried to tell him at the end, if you do blah blah blah, he wins. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone. It just kind of left it like that. But anyway, this whole movie starts off on in Germany, where a guy is mourning the death of his dog. I don't know why Germans have such a fascination. I mean, I'm part German, but I understand kind of, but not really. But anyway, he's mourning the death of his dog because his dog was actually linked up with 3 other dogs that he considered one dog. And there's a photograph in the movie, and he's crying on the side of the freeway, boo-hoo-hoo. And this trucker drives up, and he's driving up, pulls up his truck behind, grabs out a piece of toilet paper, and goes out there to take a number 2. And the doctor gets out of his car with a tranquilizer gun, or obviously a tranquilizer gun, and shoots him. And drags him to the car and drives him away. That's the last we see of this guy. So then the movie goes over to 2, I guess, typically American ditzes. And I think there's a point behind this, because a lot of these foreign countries think Americans are very improper, uneducated, uncaring to the other cultures out there. And you know what? In some ways I have to agree with him, because Americans oftentimes do go to other countries with this arrogant attitude. Why isn't everything in English? Why isn't this? I mean, and unfortunately that's the culture, and that I kind of agree with them a little bit. But anyway, these 2 girls going to party in Germany. Okay, and these girls are supposedly Manhattan girls, like New York girls. But they're like 18, 19, so they're old enough to know, but where does the money come? Who knows? Anyway, they're out there here going to party, and they said they're going to go to this one party. And of course, the typical plot line that they're in their car driving, and the car gets stuck for whatever reason. And they get stuck, and they get harassed by some sex deviant, sticking his tongue out and all of that. It's just it was, in my opinion, it was unnecessary. That should have been cut out because what it just shows is Germans as fat, lazy, just disgusting people on that, and it was disgusting. It didn't need to be done on that, but I guess for shock value they put it in, but it was a waste of time. It was no point. The guy never showed up in the movie later on. It was just... he's equivalent to the guy when you go buy a newspaper in a movie. He's the guy that takes your money. He says, thank you. That's it. It's just disgusting. But, okay, and I gotta skim through all this because there's a lot. Alright. And then the fool... well, actually, the girls are saying they're not going to leave, they're not going to leave, they're not going to leave, then they are going to leave, then they're not, then they are, then they're not. And we're getting into a little bit of Blair Witch con thing where they're like, oh, what do we do? Oh, we're trapped in the middle of the winter. Well, you know, the smart person would be, well, first of all, the psycho, the molester psycho, whatever that is, guy out there, is out there. Probably the best thing to do is stay in the car and wait till sunlight. Well, we're not dealing with the most intelligent people on that here. So, that's on the girl's perspective. On a guy's perspective, if he's going to get out of the car, the logical thing we would do is walk down the road that you came on. Even if it's raining, even if it's dark, you can feel concrete, and you can walk down that road. Girls don't think like that in this particular movie. The girls get out of the car because they're panicking, and what they start doing is walking in the middle of the forest looking for a house. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually been to Germany. Germany is full of trees, and I'm telling you, when it gets dark there and it's full of trees, it's very scary. The term the Black Forest on that is very common in Germany because the trees are very different there. It's not like the Sierras on that where you have tons of redwoods everywhere and there's actually kind of spaced out. They're very packed on them with trees, and it gets scary in there. But anyway, they're in these trees and they keep searching, walk around. They finally come upon a house on that. Oh, but the house happens to belong to the doctor that he just supposedly killed the truck driver and is mourning the death of his dog attached to each other and the gastronomic symbolism. So anyway, you know, you've kind of seen this plot line before, but okay, whatever. Girls come up, of course, for sex value or something. They're all drenching in water on that, I don't know, this thing, and they're given that, oh, we, you know, need help look. It's either like wet t-shirt contest or to give them the pitiful look. Well, I'm not sure which, but anyway, they get let in, and the guy asks the first question, are you alone? Now, if you're out there in the middle of nowhere, you come across a house, you ask someone to make a phone call, and then they ask you a question, you're out, are you alone? Now, should you really answer that question? Your really answer should be, yeah, my friend's back at the car, guarding the car, while we're waiting. We're just trying to see if we can get a phone call. And even though it may be a lie, the person on the other end can't prove it. So he's less likely to do something because he feels there's a backup there. His first question, what do the girls say? Yeah, we're alone. Yeah, typical no street smarts. I mean, how could these girls be from Manhattan or something? They got absolutely no street smarts to say like that. That is positioning. That is not showing your cards there. So anyway, the girls go in there and they're all dripping wet. The guy gets them a glass of water and they see some weird artwork on the wall and they start freaking out like, we got to get out of here, we got to get out. And one of the girls, and the guy actually drugs the girls on that, and finding out they're friends from New York and all that. So he drugs the girls and they pass out. Okay, so they pass out. He gets upset. He's just this German dude on that. It's just kind of nuts on that. So he passes out, and or not he passes. The girls pass out. So the girls are like, well, they're passed out. And they wake up tied in beds and everything. And this is starting the typical horror flick. And then the guys are comparing the psycho German doctor is now comparing the different DNAs on that of all three people, the trucker and the two girls. And he tells the trucker, I'm sorry, you don't match. You have to die. And the girl's watching him kill him with medicine, or the anesthesia. I mean, there's so many things. And then probably it's just antiseptic or anesthesia, you know. On that, and anesthesia just killed him that way. And the guy, you know, he disposes him. So he puts the girls back to sleep, and out of the nowhere he shows up with another guy, which happens to be Japanese. Because he's some crazy Japanese guy. I don't know where they're getting this logic, but okay, whatever. So he pulls the guys and he retests everything, finds everything matches blood-wise. So he then goes and gives them this lecture on that, how they're going to be part of a great scientific experiment and everything. And they start freaking out and, you know, don't know what to do. So the guy, so he starts putting each one of them out one at a time. One of the girls manages to escape here, and she runs out, runs all over the house, tries to get back her friend. Now here's the situation. You're in a situation like this, you have escaped on that. This guy is clearly more powerful than you. He clearly can track you down. You ditched him for a second, you have a chance to escape. Your friend is sedated. He obviously doesn't want to kill them. But here's the thing, you have to choose choice. If you go in and get your friend, you risk position giving you and your friend away. You could run away, get the authorities, and have them go get him, which then you could risk your friend's death on that, but you could still get him on that. Or you take care of the guy and then get your friend. Well, being a good friend would mean to go get your friend and then run away. But the problem is the friend is already drugged up with anesthesiology, so she's no good. She can't go anywhere. She'll hold you down. So then it'll trap you too. So the smarter thing, in my opinion, would have been go on the offense and try to take the guy down. Because, well, at least that's the manly thing to do. That would be the smarter thing to do. If you take him down, then you can get the friend out of there. On that, if you can't and your friend's over and the ways around and you risk being captured by the same guy, because here's the thing you have to think of. If he's just lecturing you about that, he needs 3 people. One's away, it delays him. All you need that time. You have to look at that situation objectively. Now, granted, the girls are probably freaked out of their mind, and